Wow.
Cheers. Today is the day. We're here again, another episode of Footy Fantasy. I had to take a sip for, crumbling title challenge. Maybe it's crumbling, maybe it's not. We'll find out. Before I introduce our guests, if you're watching, like, share, subscribe. Footy Fantasy on YouTube. You can see it at the bottom of the banner. On Twitter, Footy AD Fantasy. Instagram, Fantasy Footy. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter, just hit 1K on Twitter. Road to 1.5K. But we need to push our YouTube. We're still road to 500 for YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Let's introduce our guest. I'll start with our honorable one hand on the title. Maybe one finger now. It went from one hand on the title as at 60 minutes. Now it's one finger on the title. Title like this. My honorable friend, my good friend of the show, Ovi, an Arsenal fan. Thanks for coming.
I'm glad to be here, still at the top of the table. So can't complain. Good game today. Just really happy to come talk soccer today.
But like saying at your table now, only 2 legs you get over.
We said we are the elephant on top of the tree. That elephant is still there. So with the watch, they go.
Okay, that's good. I got comments. I got comment.
Happy to be here, man. Of course.
The streets have been talking.
Huh?
The streets have been talking. They say they miss your rants, your match.
It will come back. I'm just taking a sabbatical. The thing is this: it's very hard to do any kind of serious match reaction when I see Arsenal fans happy. So even when I win, I'm still sad because Arsenal is also winning. So but hopefully today is the beginning of the day that the Lord will make for us at the end of the day.
Someone was responding, say, Split Veron, friend of the show, said, no be only elephant on top of the table. Now skyscraper on top of straw. Last but not the least, friend of the show, my dear friend, Super Frank Lampard.
To Fiakwa, everything up I no agree.
Our in-house Chelsea correspondent for Chelsea.
Thank you for having me. We are here to count number. It is well. I can't be beating chest till OVA. I can't be talking to fans at this point. My blood pressure is high. I'm getting I have to respect myself.
It's okay, Idris. Just take 2 Valium before you wake up.
Before I wake up. Which kind of quack doctor before you wake up?
I think a Liverpool fan has volunteered to jump on the show because I feel like we need a Liverpool person to come and talk a little.
We need a Liverpool person up here, man. We do.
Yeah. Bola says go to join. But before that, let's dive right in. The topic of the day. Let me set the context. Liverpool Arsenal. Personally, I said this is the biggest game for Arsenal in like a long time. This is their biggest game. Because I told many people who talked about the title race, my opinion has fluctuated. But I said if Arsenal wins in Anfield, for me, that title is done. Because I believe City is going to win every game from now to the end of the season. That's my strong belief. I said it when I saw them hit that role where they've gone to that robotic mode. I said, okay. They've entered that zone. What game was that? Did I see? I saw, this people have entered that zone. Where they entered their robotic mode. Where all their forward players are like, okay, we're here now. We're serious. KDB's playing well. Once like 4-5 forward players are playing very well City, it's a wrap. So I think they entered that robotic mode, but they needed somebody to help them. So that's the context. Liverpool 2-2. Ovi, what are your thoughts? Tell us. How do you feel?
It's still raw. The game is still raw. So overall, I still think looking at the whole game, it's the point game. That's where I see it. It's painful because you were 2 goals up and we didn't just control the game the way we should have. Like Arsenal should have just calmed down and just control the game. Keep on doing what we were doing for the first 20-30 minutes. But it's Anfield. All they need is 1 goal, momentum swing, the fans are up again. Yeah, and at the end, we could easily have lost the game. So, and at the end, we could easily have still won the game again. So, it was just that kind of game. What we didn't want to do was make it a back and forth game, which is what ended up happening. So, if we had just controlled the game, done what we need to do, it could have really been a 2-3 goal win. But once you let them in and you start playing this back and forth game, you now need to take your chances, and that's part of it. So at the end of the day, it's a point. It could have been 3, but it could easily have been 0 too. So you're just somewhere in the middle. In a few days' time, you probably will appreciate. I think Arsenal fans probably appreciate the point a little more once things have calmed down. So on to the next. West Ham away. Keep sucking up your wins. That's all you can do. One game at a time. Keep winning. Keep winning. Keep winning. That's all.
I'm looking at the expected goals. Definitely, Arsenal should look at this. Just from expected goals XG, Arsenal should look at this as a point game. Liverpool's XG is 3.96.
Oh, yeah.
Arsenal is 1.41.
Yeah, but
shots on target is 6-5. Total shots is 21-9. So that means they created chances that should have led to 4 goals, clear goals by Liverpool.
Yeah, but it depends. Did they count the penalty? Is it done?
Let's remove the penalty. So let's remove penalty, right? Penalty is like 1 XG.
Like 0.9 or something.
That's 2.96.
Yeah.
That's still, they should have won the game for XG.
Significant.
Right? They outplayed you guys from big chances. They outplayed Arsenal.
That's expected. If you go 2 goal up away from home, a big team, that's expected. Those numbers are going to, because I think we're no longer attacking like they should. They're under pressure and you just want to defend your lead. So it's normal. Whenever you go 2 goal up away from home like that, big teams will create chances, will take shots. They're home. I mean, they're not going to lie down there. So the issue was we losing that control towards the end of first half, letting them in back into the game, giving them that first goal. Because if you just held on to halftime 2-0, then who knows? They become desperate. You might make it 3 or 4-0. We just didn't like that. But you can't blame the team. The team is still growing. We're not the finished product. We're still getting better and better. So I'm not worried. Like I feel like we can play any team, but little games like this show the difference. A team like Madrid went to Anfield, beat them home and away. So, but that's it. We're not yet Madrid. We're getting there. We might get there, but we cannot say we're Madrid yet. So all we can do is get better, play better, and that's all. Win game.
Better. Remember that video about that Nigerian athlete? We're getting better and better. Where he said, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So what do you think? Okay, back to what do you think led to you guys losing control of the game?
So I think it was a tackle with Zaka and somebody, and the fans got in. They both got the card. The Anfield fans got up again. We just couldn't control the game, and that's just it. Once they got up, they said you just have to hold on. Just for some reason, Zinchenko, we know what he gives us, but you also know the negative is that he's not the best defender. So we have to try. But once they got that first goal, especially in the first half, it's back on. It's 2-1 at home. I mean, as a home team, you fancy your chances. So the pressure is going to increase. But what we have to do is just stay strong, hold on 2-0, you're already up, and just play them Peter all the time, and then just attack them on the counter. But once you lose control and it becomes 2-1, and then they just start coming, and it's anybody's game. Like I said, they could have won the game. We could have won the game. I mean, the last chance we had was pretty much for an Arsenal chance after all the chances that they had. So it just creates, it happens, but we're still growing as a team. Like we lost 5 games away at Anfield in the league, we've lost all of them. So the fact that we've gotten a draw is a positive. We can just keep getting better. And our team is still so young, they will just keep getting better. We need to add more pieces to the team. So with better players, you can probably change more and rotate more and control the games a little better once things are not going your way. So I think for us, it's just part of the learning process. 2-0 up, you should have done better controlling the game. Next time when that happens, instead of going and butting heads with Trent, just back off, let the referee do his thing. You are leading. Let the other team be frustrated. You don't get frustrated. Let the other team be frustrated. Just keep playing your stuff. Keep punishing them with the actual play, and let them lose their head. Let them get red cards. Don't start going and start standing up to them and trying to raise their fan. Don't do all that. But we're learning. We're getting better.
Okay. So to end this, who do you think was man of the match?
Oh, I would say Ramsdale. Yeah, I think he made some great saves. That could easily, because some of them were like deflections and he still saved them. There was a chance from Konate pretty much on the line. So at the end of the day, he played well. You can't fault him for any of the goals. Arsenal played for the first 20 minutes, but it's hard to give any Arsenal outfield player because we kind of, for 50, 60 minutes or so, we're pretty much pegged back in our own half and just countering. So for me, Ramsdale, I think he was the best player on the day, which is part of, you need a strong goalkeeper to do well in the league. So I'm happy for that for him. And we learn. Hopefully we go against Man City, go 2 goals up and don't collapse. We keep the 2-goal lead next time. That's all. We played against if you remember, against Man U. We went there. We felt like we played better. We felt like we deserved to win. But we got naive. We lost the game. Now we went to Anfield. We drew the game. Maybe Man City will get to win. We're getting better. We're learning. So I'm not even, for me, like I said, it's a good point. We're learning. Like if Arsenal beat Man City away this season, beat Anfield, beat Liverpool away this season, then where are they going to grow to next season? I mean, like, I just feel like it's part of the process. Nobody expects the end of the race to just be easy plays and you win every single game. I still feel Man City is not going to win every single game left. I just feel that. Especially with their other matches, with the Champions League and the FA Cup, I don't see how they're going to win every single game. So just be strong. Don't lose. If you have a strong game, like whatever you do not lose. And that's what we did today. So kudos to the boys. They learn, they move, and fight again.
So looks like you're already pretty much writing off all the other teams you're playing before Man City, because you're just to Man City. I'm like, yeah, you still have like 3 games where you play them, right?
What I'm saying is, like, the way I see it is, even if you drop points before Man City, as far as you don't lose to Man City, you're still ahead. What you cannot do is not lose to Man City. That's all you have to do.
So if you drop points before you meet Man City,
you have 2 games left. If you draw 1 game and win one,
they did not play their game in hand yet. They still have that game in hand.
And they have 1 game. So pretty much the way it is, we have West Ham and Southampton. Yeah. When we play Southampton, they play FA Cup. So we can go, if we win our 2 games, we can go 9 points clear. They will have 2 games in hand, but we have 9 points. Okay. So it's up to, like I said, all this will pile up on them. And pretty much for them, if they beat Bayern Munich, they pretty much will have a game every single midweek from that end of the season. There's no break anymore for them. So, like, I still feel like they will drop points. It might be Brighton away. It might be, I can be anybody. I just don't know. But I don't feel like they're going to win every single game. That's just my feeling.
So your feeling is Arsenal will win every single game?
I didn't say that. There'll be bumps and like, we can go to Man City and draw. That's a very good point for Arsenal. All we need to do is not lose against Man City. That's why I'm looking at it. If you look at Arsenal, last season Arsenal drew 3 matches. This season Arsenal have drawn 4 matches. Arsenal either win or lose, typically. They don't like draws. So as far as you keep winning, even a loss doesn't matter because you keep winning. It's better to lose 1 game and win 6 than win 5 and draw 2 or something like that. It doesn't matter. Like, just keep winning, which is what Arsenal like to do. They keep winning. So whenever they lose, they'll win the next 5. So it just cancels out that loss because they've just won so many games. So as far as they keep winning, so West Ham, they're playing midweek on Thursday. Then they come and play Arsenal on Sunday. When Arsenal have rested for the whole week. Hopefully, their mind is in 2 places. Beat them. Southampton at home. I mean, if you can't beat them at home, then why are you in the championship race? So after that is Man City. So you just have to keep ticking. Keep ticking. If you win, so if you draw this game and you win the next 2, it's a good result. But if you draw this game and you draw against West Ham, then you start to worry. So with us now, we know how to win games. We don't draw many games. We either win or we lose and we move. So typically, and last season, we had like 13 losses. Now we only have like 3 losses. So we've moved a lot of the losses to win columns. We didn't move them to draws. We moved them to the win column. So that's a big swing. From 0, you've moved them to 3 points. Pretty much. So they'll keep. I'm not worried. Like, that's why I say it is the Man City game. Hope you learn from the first game. Just get there. Do not lose. Once you don't lose, I think you have a good chance of winning the league.
Yeah, great points. All questions comments are flying. Let's take comments. Spiff said the last 6 friends we Idris accept on social media. They all cardiologists. My brother, they insure insurance. How does this guy come up with these things that he says?
Honestly.
Someone ask you, will be satisfied with second?
No, not at this point. If you had asked me that halfway through the season, I might say okay. But
he
now
for you, he decided to answer for you. Say, I think you should be happy with second.
Oh, yes, already. No, but look at it this way. Beginning of the season, if you give me second, or like I think I came at the end of last season. I said, to me, I don't want to finish in top 4. I felt like next this season, less than 10 was not acceptable for me. I felt like last week we were the best team already. We just had a very bad start. Like, so for me, if you give me second, because I will take it. But now, yes, but it's not the end of the world because the team keeps on improving. But it will be painful because you've led for so long. So that's why I say, but I won't take the second now. It's like if you're giving me a draw before this game, I wouldn't have taken it. It doesn't mean that I'm not happy now with the draw. It just meant that if you're giving, because I feel like you have a chance to win the game. This is a chance for history. Why are you taking half measures? Go all the way.
Okay. It says Trent Alexander-Zinchenko. I don't get You get it? I don't get it. Is he trying to say like what? They are bad defenders, both of them?
No, the nutmeg.
Oh,
Before,
I didn't. So
he nutmegged him before he lost to Femiho.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That was
I
second.
didn't watch
That
it.
was the
Second with the equalizer.
Full disclosure, I didn't watch it.
So like I said, Zinchenko is so he got 1-on-1. A normal defender will just stay strong. Even if you play past him, he will just block you off and let the ball go to goal kick or clear the ball to corner or something. But Zinchenko rushed in and he just nutmegged him and then crossed for Firmino to hit the ball in the net.
Says we okay. So this is just ask we be happy second. So it's Raji, it's a Newcastle fan. So I think you should be happy. Dude said they will beat Man City at this point in the season. Is laughing.
We can beat Man City. Why can't you beat Man City?
Oh, he said you drop points when it comes to Newcastle. Do you agree with that? Or you think you beat Newcastle?
Man City will drop points to Brighton. Okay.
Huh?
Why not? Why not?
You see, now this kind, now, you know, so we nobody stopped you. You were going, we were supporting you. You now said Man City will beat. You said Brighton will beat Man City. This is the delusion of Arsenal fans that is for that us. You're on a good trajectory.
No, but
Arsenal fans causing Oga comment to investigate what's inside. What?
You go, Obi went to that Brighton will beat Man City. I was like, bro.
I don't know if you remember, beginning of the season I came on and I was saying until you get the clip in, I said, Arsenal is going to win. But there we are, 8 games to go. We're in champion. So it doesn't matter. Everybody's going to say, how can you say that? It's until you beat them now, right? Man City is not going to win every league for the next 5 years. They're going to lose some leagues, right? So why can't it be this season?
Fair enough.
That's why I say it.
That's fair. Not just the nutmeg, but because Trent played mostly in midfield today, like Zinchenko did. Okay.
So pretty much they were no longer they were attacking us. So they were pretty much trying to move to where he wants to be, pinging crosses and doing all kinds of funny things. But when we're attacking them, beginning of the first 20-30 minutes, you could see Trent's flaws. Martinelli was just killing him on one side. But once he comes up where he wants to be, where he's
Liverpool fan, Bola, can you hear?
I think you know what?
I think he said not set.
Wow, I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Let me. Bola, can you hear us?
Hello?
Okay, we can hear you now. We can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that.
Are you at the Anfield?
Are you at Anfield, Bola?
Am I what, sorry?
Are you at Anfield? That's the question. That's what they're asking.
No, I'm at church. from the pub to church to the podcast. So, busy Sunday.
Okay, that's good. That's good. It looks like your prayers work for Liverpool. Liverpool didn't get battered. Liverpool get battered.
Liverpool dominated the hell out of Arsenal. Sorry for saying that on Easter Sunday, but we had a bad first half, and you know what? I will say this, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything like that. Every championship team needs to go through something like this, and this was Arsenal's test. Arsenal needed this, right? And I think this will give them the resolve to carry on throughout the rest of the season. Is now down. It's actually technically in City's hands because, if they win out, they win. But if Arsenal wins out, Arsenal also wins. And sometimes when you're going for a championship, you need to go through this. And as the only mistake I'll say Arsenal made today was when Xhaka got out of control. And that's when the fight turned. The crowd got into it. Everything happened from that moment onwards. But Arsenal stayed strong. We're putting everything on them from that moment in the first half all the way to the very end. Arsenal also had some moments where they were very, very dangerous. So I'll say this was a great match. It was entertaining, but every team needs to go through this. And I think Arsenal are going to win the league this year. I really do. And that's no pimting. That's Like you overcame this test. Now you just got to go to City and overcome City. All you need is a draw, right?
Yeah.
And then the title is yours.
Okay. Good.
Same thing I said. Like you are listening to me.
Oh, really? That's what you said?
That's what I said. Last comment says fighting talk from Ovi. I respect, but man, you won't escape trolling if you guys do it, Gerard.
I'm saying that, you won't, if Arsenal don't win the league, you're my grandmother, your grandmother. I've heard all that all season. My own is, if Arsenal win the league, what should not happen?
We'll delete
Because
the
all we
internet.
heard all season is, if Arsenal don't win the league, I'm already keeping on my throws.
We will delete the internet.
That.
I'll block you.
Arsenal win the league. And Arsenal fan, talk to them with respect.
I'll block you. That's what I'll do.
If Arsenal fan wants to ask you out on a date and you're not sure before, accept the date. So that's my own. I don't want to hear anything that was 50-50 before. If the guy an Arsenal fan or the woman an Arsenal fan, just accept. Yeah. So that's all I want to hear. So everything should come out
I'm sorry. Nah. I've sat here.
Okay, jump.
Man, nah. It's been 21 minutes and 38 seconds.
There's a shot at them.
I've sat here and listened to this man on Resurrection Sunday, right? On Resurrection Sunday, this man is out here chatting rubbish from hell, bro. Like you man did not get the memo that you were supposed to resurrect. These guys went back into the grave, bro. I'm telling you, from 2-0 up, you should be ashamed, Ovi. I'm telling you, big man thing. You should be very, very worried. Your team went 2 goals up early as hell at Anfield, and you guys bottled it, bro. ABC Arsenal Bottling Company, bro. I'm telling these guys 2 goals at Anfield. Nobody goes 2 goals up at Anfield. Nobody does that. You guys managed to do it, and you drop the ball, and you're still over here chatting, bro. You just lost the league this afternoon. I'm telling you. I'm not even lying to you. You just lost the league because if you guys had won today, it was over. That's it. That is it. Because what I saw from Arsenal today was lack of game management. That is what I saw from Arsenal. Lack of game management. When you go 2 goals up at Anfield, what you need to do is stop the game from becoming a basketball game. You guys did not do that. You should have either completely sat in front of Liverpool, let them break you down through your 2 bangs of 4, or you should have continued to pin them down in their own half. You guys did neither of that, and you allowed that game to become a basketball game, back and forth. What happens when the game goes back and forth? Holes begin to appear in the midfield and the defense. That is how you guys failed. That is how you guys failed today. And if it wasn't for the poor, abysmal, dead finishing from Liverpool today, you man would have been dead food. Arsenal would have been dead. Mohamed Salah, how many chances did that guy miss today? Let's even forget about the penalty. Let's forget about the missed penalty. Before the penalty, Salah had chances for days, bro. I don't know if it's the Ramadan thing, but this guy cannot finish his food.
It might be, man.
He cannot. Look at Darwin Nunez. When we say Darwin Nunez is man like Indomie noodles, you man think we're trolling him. What was that today? 1-on-1, bro. I think that chance came within 2 or 3 minutes of him getting on the pitch.
Yeah.
1-on-1 with the goalkeeper against Arsenal at home in front of the cop. You miss. So, bro, I'm telling you, Ovi, you guys should be very afraid. What your team displayed today was some kind of fragility that still exists in the team. Psychological fragility and structural fragility. So if I were you, I won't be sitting here, talking about if we do this to Man City, if Man City loses to Brighton or whatever. Man City are not losing to Brighton. I'm gonna tell you that right now, point blank period. They're not losing to Brighton, they're not dropping points to Brighton. You guys should be afraid.
Okay.
That's it.
Love it.
That's it.
That was
I caveat what I said, right? Arsenal, you need to be humble, though. You need to be humble. Humble. If you're humble for the rest of the season, you approach it methodically, remain humble. Okay. But the second you start getting excited, it's going to be over because there are holes. Everything that Oga Kwame said is absolutely true, right? You are a young team. There were some weaknesses, and we definitely took advantage of that. Now what they call it squeaky bum time. You know, this is where it counts.
Yeah. By the great Sir Alex Ferguson, squeaky bomb time. It's all getting.
Squeaky bum time.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go.
What
it's
else?
great for the neutral. It's great for the neutral.
Yeah, I'm not a
Mr. Raji is taking shots at.
Oh, let's read comments. Then we move
Yeah,
to.
he's taking shot at Bola.
How did they overcome this
What did he
test?
say?
No, he said, how did they overcome this test? This guy, you're lying to them.
You're
Maybe
lying.
I am. No.
Bola is just trying to wind them. Bola is trying to
No,
wind them.
no.
Show
No,
why
no.
me.
It's a test, right? Like if it had remained 2-1, you know, what? If it had remained 2-1, I would have still said the same thing because we were knocking on that door. But people wouldn't have heard me. The fact that it was 2-2 and it could have been even worse, you know, Arsenal is still in it. If it was if we had beaten Arsenal today, then the tide is totally in City's hands, right? But the fact that they still have the opportunity, they still have all the momentum. Well, not all the momentum, but all they need is a draw out of Manchester City. They just need to have some composure. They need to go back to the drawing board, play their football, not get too excited when they get up, right? And they can still win this thing out, right? So that's why I said they overcame a test because we were knocking on the door. But like Ayo said, the Salah penalty was terrible, and I had a bad feeling he was going to miss it. You know, we might have to bring James Milner for the rest of the season, be our penalty taker. The Darwin Nunez miss was terrible too, huh?
Or let Trent take the penalties.
Maybe. In one of my groups, we were talking about maybe Fabinho. He has actually got a really good penalty record. You know, it might be time for Salah to stop taking penalties. I doubt that's going to happen, but that's another story, right?
How you go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, no, finish your thoughts.
No, I was just saying, but Arsenal did overcome a test because you know what? We did not win, and while it's in City's hands, it's still also in Arsenal's hands too. So they have some life.
I'm going to ask you a question before we go. Let me
go
take
ahead.
our comments. We're going to move away from title race. If this syncs perfectly, that is close down the forum. If Arsenal win the league, Ovi will be safe. So can't believe this. We have to agree with Oga Kwame. Preach. Yeah, Oga Kwame was preaching, man. He went on some MLK move right there. If you think Man City is not watching the game and thinking of how to exploit Arsenal, you're confused.
Oh, that's facts, though. Man City are coming. Man City are coming. This is great for the neutral.
It's not as if he was wasting chances all game. He scored at Emirates.
From a Chelsea fan.
Mr. Noodles, Joe.
From a Chelsea fan. That statement, I don't want to hear it. I don't know if you're collecting anything like 20K per month, your father, finish it. I know it's Ramadan, but finish it. I don't want to be in that kind of rubbish on Easter Day or Ramadan Day. Finish it.
So the Arsenal is going to Man City. Stop this talk. You are giving hope. It's not justified.
Clifford Wow.
Let's hear you. What are your thoughts? Title race. This game and title race. What are your thoughts, Idris?
Oh, for me, game and title race, to be very honest with you real quick, I second what, I actually understand what Ovie is saying. I completely see what Ovie is saying. You have to be bullish at this point. You cannot settle for anything. They did not believe they were going to be here. To be honest, the elephant joke, we might troll them, but bruv, 8 games to go, the elephant is still there. Whether we like it or not, the elephant is there. And that kind of ties into what Bola is saying. They overcame, and they've overcome a few other things before this time. That being said, again, before I go and troll Arsenal now, just want to put it out there that like Bola is saying you've overcome. You were there's squeaky bomb time. There was grit. We saw you hanging there. In contrast to your kind of philosophy and the kind of way you play, to be very honest, I haven't seen Arsenal pin down literally at their box surviving in the last 4 or 5 years, right? So awesome, we'll give you that. But back to what Oga Kwame said, after you guys went 2-0 up in Anfield, I thought this was why you guys bought Jorginho, because I know I've always been on Jorginho's case. This is where game management is massive. That guy can he can bore even the most boring person to death, right? Just keeping the game managed to the very end. Now you have to protect him. You have to be wary of counter, but you guys were doing that very well first 30 minutes. I was just confused after the bust up with Shaka, the Salah goal finally went in, and then it just changed. Like Trent was not even, because you guys were picking on Trent. Then all of a sudden, Trent is the one creating ridiculous chances for the next, 60 minutes. So what I saw, I was like, people are going to be watching this and saying, Arsenal is a title contender, but you're not invincible. What that just showed us today is you're not invincible. People always were worried about like you're a well-drilled team. I saw the way your team moved. You guys were like literally connecting without even the passes were getting to the person without the person having to think. You know what I mean? From that kind of level, as Ayo said, City gets into that robotic phase. You guys are pretty much close to that right now. In all fairness, fiercely going forward. But what you guys showed the world today is if there's 8 games to go, you're more likely to drop points than City is likely to drop points in terms of stats. The XG I quoted was significant.
Yes.
Like was significant. I even saw it. We're talking about gap back was miss. Salah missed a whole couple. Salah hit the side net several times. Firmino got his head onto the ball. What's his name? That literally, I don't know, his head was too far from his chest, so he had to use his chest.
Konate.
Konate. I really felt for him. But I was like, we're talking about the clear misses, 3 goals. This game should be like 5-2 or something. You know what I mean? Like it. So you should be worried, is what I'm trying to say. But you nailed it. It's a young team. It's a very young team, and there are pros and cons for managing games. I don't know if Arteta can figure that out because he's also a young coach. The way you guys play together today or this season embodied a youthful, vibrant, young coach's philosophy or way of playing. There wasn't any form of like Agba Bola where you say today. I mean, Chelsea we are good at that. Contest time, Mourinho's time, squeaky bomb time, 1-0, 10 games straight. We don't care. Boring Chelsea. We no send 1-0 up to the Liverpool had to do that too when they won the title. You know what I mean? So based on that, top 4, in my own humble opinion, I think the top 4 is a wrap. I cannot see Tottenham breaking into that. I'm very honest. I don't see this as a change for Liverpool where they can have a 10-game.
Hold that thought.
Okay, sorry, but yeah.
Let me end title race conversation. Ovi, you have final comment. I see you want to reply. I know. Okay.
I'm with like I said. So I've said some things earlier. I said Man City is not going to win every league title for the next 5-10 years. They're going to drop some titles, right?
Fair.
Arsenal have shown bounceability compared from this season to last season.
Fair.
We lost to Man City. A lot of people are saying it's over. You've lost to Man City. Man City are there now. It's 3-point gap, 6-point gap. It was 3-point gap at the time. I think they even went ahead for 1 week until we now won the game in hand. They say, the season is over. Arsenal went 1-7 on the bounce. You might say, it's still a split. Well, this is Premier League. Man City drew with Nottingham Forest. It can happen. What I would say is, it doesn't matter whether there are holes or no holes. The game against Man City was the first time I saw Man City have like 30-70% possession in the game against Arsenal. They won the game. People say, they won the game. They're masterclass. They're so experienced. But they have this stuff that they don't do to anybody else. So it's not that easy. It's not that, Man City will just come in and Man City will just roll over them. It's not. That's not how it works. Arsenal might win the league, might not win the league. It doesn't matter. I'm not even, like I said, I'm not worried about this league title. Arsenal have shown so much possibility this season that I am not worried. It doesn't matter.
Ovi, you also said something at the beginning when we were chatting, though.
Okay.
Right? If it were any other team, you would say Arsenal is home and dry.
Yes.
The reason all of us are picking on this, like, it's Man City. There is no other team that has been starved of a title than Liverpool. Yes. Liverpool banked every goal, won every game possible, just for that team to win extra. Like, do you know how frustrating that will have been?
I said, if every other team, I would have said it's already over.
Okay.
Because it's Man City can still win it.
So that's why exactly. That's why most people's argument towards you is like, this is Man City literally is an autopilot team at this moment. They're like, they've seen it, they've done it all. Your team is just coming, so there's more likely chance that you will potentially fall off before they would. That's what everybody is
possible.
Seeing.
We have 2-3 weeks in April, right, and 4 weeks in May. Man City, as it stands, have 4 more games than Arsenal, no matter what.
And a squad anybody will be enviable that
Fine.
any of their players on the bench will start in other
But
teams.
you know,
That's the
they have 4 more games. If they beat Bayern Munich, they have at least 6 more games.
fair enough.
If they win that one, they have at least 7 more games than Arsenal competing in 7 weeks.
Nobody's
They have
disputing
7
that.
more games to play.
Nobody's disputing that. But I'm trying to explain to you, the same machine called Man City did it to Liverpool. That's all we're trying to say.
If they were
With
so
this
great.
same calculations.
Yeah, but I'm like I said, I've never said Arsenal are just confirmed winners. I've not said that.
No. I know you're gonna say yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, if they were so great, they would have won Champions League by now. They have flaws too. They have
no.
flaws. Confirmed. I've seen it. I think I said. I remember last season when
Arsenal's never won the Champions League though, so come on. You can't use that one.
If they're so
Can't
great,
use
they would
that
have
one,
won the
bro.
Champions.
You
Yeah,
can't
you're
use that
saying
one.
if
the
they're
team
so
has
great.
flaws. The
But
team
that
has
was unnecessary.
Yeah,
My bad,
man just showed up and done
Relax,
for a knife
get-
fight, bro.
Get my point. Get my point. Even in seasons when they've already won the league and they're so focused Champions League, they're still not able to do it, right? So they have flaws in their
Fair
team.
enough. Fair enough.
Facts. Like that's fact. So I don't always say stuff that people say, oh, come on, you just say stuff. When we lost to Man City I remember last season, we lost to Man City, and within the break, he said, this team now more than ever, that is in the last few days, he was sure that he's going to be successful as a coach and this team is going to get better. People were looking at like, why you just lost 3 games, you're considered 5 goals against Man City. What are you talking about? After we lost to Man City, he said he was more convinced after that game that we could win the league now than before the game. We went on a 7-match winning run, right? So, but when he said that, people looked at him like it was stupid. So it doesn't really matter. It's game by game. Man City, they're going to play a juggernaut in Bayern Munich, right? Nothing is confirmed. Let's see how it goes. I'm not, like I said, I'm not worried.
This one you're calling.
I'm going to Man City thinking we should not lose. And as far as we don't lose that game, I feel like we'll win the league. That's the way I see it. If you lose the game, then of course Man City are back on top.
Okay.
Don't lose the game, you win the league. That's the way I see it, Pastor. Because we know how to churn on wins. It's just fair. That's the way we are built now. Against all the small teams, churn wins.
He said, yeah, that's why I said that's the way we are built now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said now.
A lot of Arsenal fans are getting so carried away this season. And it makes me there's one thing that not you, Ovie, to be clear.
Yeah, Ovi is very like rational.
Arsenal
Yeah.
fans, like there's this thing people forget how football changes very quickly. Like
Yeah.
a lot of Arsenal fans are so carried away that they're only going to get better from here. This is next season. You don't know that. I keep telling people that you don't know that.
Yeah, you can have a serious
Football.
sophomore year, man.
Correct. We've seen in Liverpool. Like you can have massive injuries. So I'm not going to. I digress. Let me come back to wrap up my thoughts about the title race. Like I said when we started, right? I think Man City has entered this robot cycle. Of course, they can draw points, right? They can. But when I look at Arsenal, right, I see Arsenal as a team that they're slightly a little bit naive, just a little bit, right? And I also think when I look at that squad, right, as good as Arsenal has been, Arsenal is definitely overperforming based on the quality of the squad, way overperforming. So, and this is me now, I'm going to be very fair now. Even when they drop points, like I think they will, and not win the league, Arsenal fans should not look at it, or if I say they bottled it. Because the reality is they're playing way above their level. This level of consistency. That Arsenal squad is a squad that you see, 85, 84. Now everybody's expecting Arsenal to end this season. Like that Arsenal team is not the team that should be getting 95 points. They are not.
Yeah.
Let's be serious here. They are not.
Yeah.
They were very lucky for a long stretch with injuries. They were very lucky for a very long stretch, right? When they play Wednesday, Thursday, and like they're going to have to add more to that team. Like for you to think like Arsenal could add more players to that team, right? And don't even get the same points they get this season next year.
True.
That's the funny thing about life, right? So
True.
The point is the squad that City have now in this running. I think City is going to take it over the line just because
Just heavy squad.
Arsenal now, like all the games, not rotating their squad, playing the same players, it's catching up now, right? It's going to catch, and they have more tough games going forward against teams that they have something to play for. They have to go to Newcastle, who is right in the mix for top 4, right? They have to play. I think they have to play Brighton. They have very tough games coming up, right? And the Arsenal team have holes. They've done very well to be here. They've done extremely well to be here. I'll say that. And the reason why they're on top of the league because they won their games. But the point is that squad is overperforming more than their level, and that's just a fact. We all know this. Nobody came into the season saying Arsenal's going to be top of the league title chart. Nobody. Anybody that said that is just being lying. It's just lying now. Nobody saw that, right? So This is what I thought. Ovi, you've talked enough. Let's move on to top four conversation. You've talked enough because you're good. This is going to have 5-7 minutes. Let's move on to top four conversation. So let me take all the comments. It's a young team, and this is why you know win. Tottenham's a bad team with great players that can change the game. Man United is not. Newcastle will not make top four. No guarantees with two teams. That's true. Won it 6 times. Who has won it 6 times? In case anyone was wondering. Won what 6 times? All right. Oh, that's probably a Liverpool fan. If Arsenal doesn't win the league, they are not winning for at least 5 years. I don't know about that. That's what I would not say to you. You don't know what's going to happen next season. Nobody knows. Did you guys talk about how the ref elbowed Robo? What do we think?
No,
That's
we
weird.
haven't talked about
Bola,
that.
let's push. Bola, you want to talk about
I was
that?
going to touch on this.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely crazy, man. That's like unacceptable. Like, you know, it's crazy.
Like,
But I don't know what else to say. Like,
what?
other than because I'm not gonna make it sound like it had anything to do with the game. I don't want anyone to twist my words into saying it has anything to do with the game. But it is unacceptable. Referees should keep their hands to themselves. Players should keep their hands to themselves as well.
Yeah. On that, I want to see how the Football Association reacts to this, because we all saw what happened with Mitrovic, and he got 8 matches for putting his hands on the ref. And I think the league is even wanting more than 8 matches or something like that. I think that they said they're going to appeal it or something. So we see that the league takes assault against refs very, very seriously. Now I want to know what they're going to do now that the shoe's on the other foot, right? We had and in fact they also fined Manchester United because we surrounded the ref in that Fulham game. So the FA is out here dishing out stupid fines and stupid punishments for innocuous offenses. So I want to see what they're going to do with these linesmen, because that was unacceptable. If we're saying players should act with some kind of decorum and civility on the pitch, well, the same should be true for match officials.
Okay. Let's move on swiftly. I feel like we spent so much time on Liverpool, so much time, and Arsenal. Oh, he's smiling. Top 4 race. Bola, just one simple question: is Liverpool still going to get top 4 at this point?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably Arsenal, City, Newcastle, and United. Probably.
It's sealed.
We've dug ourselves too deep of a hole.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
It's what? 44 oh yeah, that's too far behind. 12. Liverpool is behind. You have a game in hand though, but 12 points.
We have a game in hand, but I just don't see United and Newcastle flipping that much. Tottenham, no one cares about Tottenham. Tottenham are bottlers. But
we're going to have a conversation. The end of the season, we'll do a Liverpool pod, like how we do our review season. I'm going to ask about Klopp, man. I'm going to have some.
Yeah, I need to answer some Klopp questions
about Klopp.
I can answer the Klopp questions. No, I'm ready.
I'm not going to ask. I have big questions, man. I really do. I'll be honest with you, because I feel like Liverpool fans make hella excuses for Klopp, and I love Klopp as a coach. I hate to play for the rival, for the Alps, but
I don't think they're making excuses for Klopp. I think they are realizing they're in transition, and they don't make the same mistakes Chelsea makes, like just up and leave and make a chance. Like he's bought himself that level of benefit of doubt.
Exactly. Like, thank you, Idris. Like, literally, I know we get banter for this, but we had a chance of winning the quadruple last year. Yeah. The same issues that are going on with the team are the same issues that the diehard Liverpool fans have been talking about for the last 4 years, right? And so I don't want to throw Klopp away. I know what Klopp has done for our club. I know what he can continue to do. Not only is he a great manager, but he's also a great draw. You see certain players coming to Liverpool that have no business coming to Liverpool. That's because of Jurgen Klopp, right? We can all say Liverpool's a great name, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, these players, this is their job, this is their livelihood. And if they don't believe in the coach, they're not going to come to that point. Exactly. So my thing has always been FSG, they need to spend more money. There's rumblings about them selling a little bit more stake. It's not the ideal situation, but it's better than what we got. But we need to have a massive window this summer. We can't continue doing this nonsense that we've been doing before. And then once we get this big window and Klopp actually has the players, then we can fairly evaluate Klopp because he has made some decisions that I don't necessarily agree with,
Okay.
but he's earned that, right? So once we get these players in, once we see what's going on, once we see how they've adapted to a system, if the system is just dead, then it's just dead. I do think that a high line, we play too much of a high line too much. I do agree. I've heard the criticisms. You're right, right? But it also takes a lot to change a system mid-season as well. And the system is also cascaded throughout the entire organization, all the way down to the youth level. So, I want to see what happens when Klopp has the players. I want to see what we do.
Okay, fair enough. Ovi, I don't talk in a while. Third and fourth. Before you talk, Ovi, let me quickly take comments. I think we should start from here. Liga says Liverpool have won Champions 6 times. Yeah. Who cares? Part of it. Most of it was when there was no color TV. No, it doesn't.
Wow.
Hold up. That's not true. Nah, I'm not gonna allow you to get away with that one. Nope. Nope. I've seen the majority of them in my lifetime as a Liverpool fan. So
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Okay. Exactly. Okay, there must be comparable consequences to what players get. Linger, I absolutely agree.
Absolutely.
Ola says we won't even get top 6. Brighton and Villa have better than Liverpool. No, Liverpool get top 6. Come on now. Let's be serious here.
I'm okay with us not getting top 6. I'm okay with us staying at 8. Like
Hey.
I don't want Europa. I don't want Conference League.
8 is Conference League. You know that, right?
Okay, then we'll go to 9th. We'll join Chelsea.
I beg, just leave us where we did. We need
Nah.
to reset.
Bola, you must travel to Azerbaijan.
Yeah,
Like my
Travel
boss.
to Romania.
We don't want it. We don't want it. We'll be playing. It'll be good for youth development.
Ovi has been there, like almost since I've known Ovi. Ovi has been traveling to Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan. I've known this man. He's my good friend.
Wi-Fi teams.
Man even travel to Wakanda.
Wi-Fi teams, man.
I was always hiding behind. I love club, but always ready to call him out. He won't blame the guy for winning manager of the season, which isn't his fault. Laugh at us. Hey, at the very depth, I am still a Manchester United fan. Everybody I said Liverpool is still the ops. You have to know that. Please go and sit down. Don't worry, call 7-0. Yeah, it's 7-0. Lingard, your cup, 7-0 cup. Thank you, Bola. We won Champions on late 7.
We'll take. I said this on the cast before. We're celebrating 7-0 for the end of time. It's Liverpool, Man United. Those are the only teams that matter. So you lost 7-0 to this team. Fam. Come on, man. You gotta eat that. You gotta eat that. So we're gonna celebrate that. That is our trophy, and we're okay with that.
Spend 100 million on one player. This thing, don't joke with
100 million on who?
Darwin Noodles.
He didn't cost 100 million.
Dangerous step overs. That guy has hurt his teammates, one another opposition.
We love Nunez. Nunez did not cost 100 million though.
It feels like a tractor. Let's go see that. It's 100 million.
But he didn't cost 100 million though. He didn't.
We don't care about he cost 100 million.
He cost 65 mil.
Nah,
That's a lie.
He cost 65 million. He's on 70 grand a year.
No.
Okay, Obi, third and fourth. Let's go. Who do you think is going to get third and fourth, Obi?
I think it's hard to look beyond Newcastle and Man U. The gap to Tottenham, I think they're 3 points ahead of Tottenham.
No, Tottenham's like a couple of points, 2 points actually.
Is it 2 points?
They're
not far.
We have a game in hand.
And they have a game in hand. Both of them have a
game in hand over them. Yeah.
And I don't think Tottenham is going to go on a run or something. So I just can't look beyond Brighton and Brighton has dropped too many points in the last 3 games. So I don't see either. So it's probably just going to be, unless one of them have a collapse, then Tottenham can sneak it. If not, it's just going to be Newcastle and Man U. I want to say something quickly about the referee thing. I've only seen it once. I've not seen it again. But it could be that I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. It could be that the player you could hear somebody run up to him and they kind of like, I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, I don't just think he just wanted to just elbow this guy. But I mean, it's gonna be hard to prove that.
If a player did that to the ref or to another player. I'm
not saying, like I said, you know, a player, enough time you don't fall for ball, you kind of protect yourself. It could
Fair
be
enough.
somebody running towards him to come and complain, and it was just like, I'm just saying, it could be. We'll find out soon enough what they decide. I only saw it once. I need to see it a few more times to just see what they say. But I mean, if they can't prove it beyond, if they can't prove something else happened or something else caused him to raise his hand, it's gonna be probably a good ban for him too.
He needs to keep his hand down.
Natural
Natural position.
celebrate. Nah, that's a good one. Natural position. United fans to celebrate 8-2 over Arsenal from 10 years ago. I don't want to talk about 7-up. I mean, I don't know if we celebrate it, but we remind them. Just remind them.
Fam.
Is it a winding baller?
Come
Let's
on.
have
Come
six.
on. You celebrate it. You
also-
celebrate
we
it.
We also won the league that year. So
Yeah. We also have a 6 against Arsenal. 6. Don't forget that one. 6-1. Yeah. Ovi knows. Remember that time now. Dwight York hat trick.
I remember Dwight York hat trick.
They are winding you baller. They know Nunes didn't cost close to 100 million. Even if it's 2 goals, service worth half of it. Yeah. This is Liverpool fans. People are not making champions. You still have chest to talk. It's easier to support sports for top 4. That Conte, now that Conte is gone. Wow, this person. Okay.
Nah.
I know what you're trying to say. I'm going to skip that comment real quick. All I says, please talking about. All I please keep talking about 7-up. That will be a trophy this season. Arsenal will still win the league. City will be distracted and drop points somewhere. All right, fair enough. Okay, who else? Third and fourth. Oga comment.
third and fourth, I think Newcastle finishes third. Before yesterday, I would have put Manchester United in third place, but I think Rashford is out for the season. The way he pulled up.
Has it been announced?
It hasn't been announced. Nothing has been announced, but with the way he pulled up, and that is a growing injury. Growing injuries don't go away quickly. So I think he's out for at least a month, and at that time, season is already done. So I think Newcastle gets third position, and we will have to settle for fourth.
What do you say, Ove? You say Martial is back?
It's back.
They go together though. That's the thing. Martial and Rashford. That's when we play well. Once one of them is out, it's always kind of.
Listen, Ovi, saying Martial is back is like people in Nigeria saying Nepalite is back.
Yeah,
Why are you like this?
Yeah, but
Nigeria is catching stray bullets for no
when
reason. Nigeria is just walking on our own. They're like, pow.
Nacho can step up for Rashford now.
Ovi,
No, the combination is what they play.
Okay, sorry.
They're trying to take shots at Sancho. You see that? You see my name, Team Tencho. I don't call him Sancho anymore, by the way. I call him Tencho. He's a 10 playing, winger playing 10. That's why I call him Tencho. That's his new name. And I'm his father. So put on yourself, Sancho. Tencho.
Hey, I random question. Where is the Arsenal Man City match in relative to the Champions League matches? Is it in the middle or is it?
It's in the middle of.
I can tell you. So Man City have Leicester at home, Bayern Munich, FA Cup, Bayern Munich. Then sorry. Let me say that again. They have Bayern Munich, Leicester, Bayern Munich, FA Cup, and then Arsenal. So they have Bayern Munich this midweek. They have Bayern Munich, Leicester at home, Bayern Munich, FA Cup, Arsenal.
They'll rest They'll rest the FA Cup game.
Yeah.
They're playing Sheffield. They'll play their Sheffield United. They'll rest that game. That's what they're going to do.
Is the Arsenal game midweek?
Yes, Wednesday.
So that weekend they'll rest.
Okay.
They'll rest players. You know they're going to rest.
Friday
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. They'll rest players. So this is my prediction now. I know we left that, but just I think Bayern's going to knock them out because I think Pep. I had City winning it when we did our prediction, but I didn't see the Tuchel thing happening. I think Pep seriously overthinks it when he plays Tuchel. I think he's going to overthink it a little bit in this one, and I think they'll get knocked out by Bayern. And he's going to put all his eggs in the league. And they're going to win the FA Cup. I'm just calling now. I know United is still there. Whatever.
they'll win the FA Cup.
Yeah, they'll win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Who else? Bola, third and fourth. What do you
I
think?
think Paul already said this.
I went first. I said
Idris is left.
Idris.
No, for me, as is right now, it's sealed. Tottenham changed coach. They're fuming. They're not going to get any damn bounce. It's Tottenham. They already have problems. It's just Levi just existing in that club doesn't bring any good news to them. So I can see them push up. But what's it called? Albion, Brighton are not also going to mount a charge. You need to understand the guys in top 4 right now are just steady. They're not doing anything crazy. They're managing whatever they need to manage. Now, Arsenal, City might change, but Again, that's a but, right? But the next two are solid, and I think there's a decent gap from fourth to sixth and something. So it's sealed. That's where I'm at right now.
I'm there too. I said it in our group chat or comment store when I said the last what game was that? Yeah, that when we lost Newcastle, I said we're going to get fourth. We're not getting third again, and I said the reasons why. I feel like our home form is good enough. I think our fixtures are become easier now going forward. I think in the league, so our home form is good enough to take us over the line. I think we'll win a couple of away games against easier teams, relatively Nottingham Forest, and with our players coming back, Casemiro now, thank goodness, no more banned. Ericsson coming back. We're going to have more control. So I think we'll scrape over the line, but I do think we'll drop some points away from home because away from home we look like a totally different team. We look all over the place away from home. But our home form is incredible. It's probably the second best now in the league when I checked. So yeah, I think we'll be fine.
And we have the best defensive record at home in the league.
Right.
So
just because I think we'll scrape it. We should have been third, but I think that shaky from when we lost to Liverpool over those 3 games, kind of that's where we lost this stranglehold on third position, in my opinion. So, but I think we fought. Who can fought? Newcastle are flying. They have goals in them. Like I saw the Alexander guy and Carl Wilson. They have goals all over the place. So I think we'll scrape it because, like Oga Kwame said, without Rashford, Marshall I trust. Okay, Marshall can score goals. The rest of our forward line.
But Marshall can. Tony Marshall cannot score if he's in a hospital bed. That's what you're like.
Don't remind me now. Come on now. That's this is a yeah, they're close to my heart. That's Marshall. Oh Lord, Marshall. Anyways, let's go to the hot topic. That's what I'm doing my brother here. Maybe I should bring him on white screen.
Let all of us just exit. Idris, take over, please.
It's a simple question, right? Because I'll give some context, right? I was thinking, and I was chatting.
I like all my notes.
We were chatting data about this. It's like, why was Lampard hired? And that's why I put that as a podcast question, because I thought about it like, okay, you fired Potter here because that become bad, but you have his assistant there who has been there for 7 months, understand the tactical instructions, understands the profile of players more now. 10 games to go. Okay, like let it just be there because at least the advantage he has is understands. Okay, I know you can do this. This is your strength, this is your weaknesses. And let's just set it up to the end of the season. But then you now bring somebody who we just saw stink up the place with everything. It's like had a bad time towards the end at Chelsea. He did well first season, relatively well, I guess. Towards the end, it was terrible. Yes, former legend. But that former legend hype thing, in my opinion, I guess I'm saying my own thoughts about this. I won't talk about this again. I'll let you guys go. But that hype of legend thing, in my opinion, has passed that first time he came. Like some of the players that were there when they were looking at him side eye when he was throwing them under the bus in press conferences. So I'm just like, why? So Idris, maybe you can answer because I don't know. I don't understand.
I will answer this in a few stages actually. When Tuchel was fired, we all knew it was not for footballing reasons. And as much as hindsight is 2020, when you look at it, like, okay, you guys messed up here because it didn't pan out, right? I'm a person who strongly believes Iron knows this because we do talk about life and things in deep detail. I have no patience for anyone who doesn't add value to an organization or a project, trying to dictate the pace of the project or an organization. I have absolutely no patience for it. Even in my family, they know me to be a very, like, they used to call me Diagon, with the way I used to think about some of these things. If there's a saying in you, like this call me like Diagon, and there's a reason why, because for me, it's there's a interesting saying. I'll say it in Yoruba, then I'll translate, right? They will say, Olówó ń sọ̀rọ̀, tálíkà ni pé ó idea òṣìwò ló ní. A rich person is talking. One poor person says he has an idea. What stupid idea do you have? I'm paying your salary. Fall in line. There's a reason things like PIMBOK, the United States military and NATO implement such structure in the entire organization. Companies today standardize processes from change management to things like that. And if you are banked on as a person who they know is supposed to bring home the bacon and help them, and then you're getting into an argument with the owners and your attitude has stunk all the way from minds to here, and people are still predicting they will still fight in Bayern Munich. It's just a matter of time.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about Oliver Kahn. We're talking about, if you're talking about the most bureaucratic club, we're talking United, we're talking Madrid, we're talking Barca, we're talking institutionalized clubs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bayern is on top of that. Exactly. So you stunk up the club with fighting a director in PSG. They already know you. They warned us. You came in, you were doing well, you had goodwill. These owners were willing to look the other way as they did with Todd Bowley. Somehow you were fighting with them, and things like 443 stay coming out, insult on the owner. And when they were trying to sign players, one broke club was eating your gas lunch in the transfer window. Like you are the guy that's supposed to be the closer. Barcelona is coming. They don't even have money. They are collecting players. I think people forget that whole scenario to what brought Chelsea to this point. Because if you've ever worked in sales, in technical sales before, there is the sales guy that goes out and creates that lead, maintains the entire sales process for almost 2 years. When it's time to close, they bring us the technical guys in to convince their own technical guy that our resource, our application is the best, and that their resources are better spent on this thing that we're trying to convince them. That was Tuchel's job. Technical guy, close. Don't be coming and be telling me I don't like this guy. He can't run. I just want to be a coach. Nobody cares, man. And then, because the issue of him leaving was not because the results were bad. It was because they could not see a long-time relationship with this guy in $1 billion project. That aside, we can say, oh, that's my belief when it comes to like organizational structure, hierarchy, and when you have a mission and a goal, you don't need any Judas in your 12. You remove the person immediately and keep it moving. Straight up. That's how I see when you're on a project. Now, if it doesn't work, there's a thin line between bravery and stupidity. If you choose to jump this thing now, they'll be like, check out Idris, sharp guy. If I don't reach the place where they jump, what is dumb idiot? You know what I'm trying to say, right? What a dumb idiot this guy was. Who ain't saying be Superman? You know, people like to associate with success. Nobody likes to associate with failure.
Absolutely.
Right? So we got to say, okay, fine. Hindsight is 2020. We brought in Potter. People warned us. And I don't know how long the threshold was going to be, in all fairness, on how to maintain the guy. There was a lot of cluelessness. We were worried. People genuinely wished him well. I'm not going to lie to you. People genuinely wished him well. I don't think any Chelsea coach in the history of football has had this lengthy amount of grace period. He did. He got all the players. He got all the ingredients. For some reason, things were not just working out. Now, if I was the owner and I had nobody lined up, let this guy finish his tenure. Find a way, because you paid a lot of money to get him over. You're going to pay him a lot of money to get rid of him. What's the point? So now we're stuck with a situation where you said you were going to go long term. Arsenal went long term. Arsenal wanted to kill their coach 2 years ago, and in fact last year.
Yep.
Are you going to 10 toes down, hold this guy, or are you going to like fidget? But here's the thing again: Chelsea fans are extremely toxic, which leads me to the third part, which is the coaching hire of Frank Lampard. I will be as politically correct as possible. Ain't no Negro getting a job after your references on LinkedIn shows that you're a bastard in the last job. It will never happen. You'd have to grow new beards, get new reference, name change, falsify your credentials to get another job.
New passport.
Somehow, square jaw, nice hair, clean shaved, Oyinbo guy comes in. I always told people about my issues with the Western world when they talk about the best candidate. Is the word I'm looking for here. When you the best candidate, qualified, words like that rubbish. The Omo Onile syndrome in London is strong. I need people to understand this. The indigenous belief in their people is strong, because there should be no reason this guy is even giving masterclass at all. I saw one of the stupid masterclass in Everton. Why are you doing this, bro? Who put you in front of the camera? Masterclass Oshiwolo. Like, what are you giving?
It's
Nothing.
He has his
But
bad.
meanwhile,
He has his
Crystal
bad.
Palace is firing a coach that we know was doing well. Just they had a slump.
Yeah.
So all these things brings to me as a Chelsea fan that like we have showed the world how not to run a club. Period. We've shown the world we're laughing stock. We as fans need to recalibrate our expectations in general on how to run an organization better.
Yeah.
We need to understand there's a reason it took Liverpool that long to win the Champions League, and when they got some fusion of cash over time, got to where they are. We need to understand that even City, who used to splurge like we did, they've changed their model of how they splurge. We need to understand where United did it, and United was like, you know what? We have to bring this guy in. We're going to back him, and we're going to get rid of our own goods. It's not working, and keep him moving. Chelsea is an abyss. Lampard should not have been there. We were worse than Graham Potter's team. I didn't think it was even possible.
In the game,
worse.
In the game versus
against Potter. Last game Potter played, we weren't as bad. If you watched our game against Liverpool, yeah, it looked like a battle of the bastards.
Chelsea played well.
Like it was just a battle of the bastards. People are misplacing passes and stuff like that. But the game, yesterday's game, see, Lampard said something in the press conference, and this is why I don't like. And this happens in black communities, so I'm really sorry. I'm going very deep here. And in Africa, when one Oyinbo guy starts speaking with accent, everybody's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, Shilon saw this guy is talking rubbish, and everybody is here clapping for this guy. Like, I'm like, that used to pain me. Why are you clapping? This guy, what has he said? He's mad, and all of you are clapping. They asked Lampard in the press conference. He says he knows these guys. I have a very good understanding of the players. So, game starts now. Guy copy and pasted what the other guy did the last time, and the team was even worse than what the other guy did. So you're now wondering, what did you say you knew? Which fabu did you tell them in the interview? How did you even get this job? Like, there's so many things about Chelsea right now. I can't even fathom. Yes, you mentioned some of the players were there, like probably mad at him, but most of the guys I had issues with, senior players had left. Rudiger, Jorginho, Alonso, Luis, they've gone. Most of the guys there right now actually are going to work for him, Thiago Silva and the other guys. But in all fairness, I don't know what the belief system is. I would rather John Terry came in here and just took us to the end of the season.
Okay.
I would rather. He's in the youth team. He's a leader. John Terry will nod you if you're actually acting stupid in the dressing room. Everybody knows this now. So Chelsea's in a very peculiar situation.
So,
N'Golo Kante has played other 3 coaches and he has barely played like 4 games. It just tells you how low we've been.
what are the expectations? I guess that's the question now.
Expected what?
Now, there's
no expectation. We are vibing to the end of the season. And you need to understand, there's no inshallah even in the vibes.
So it's okay.
There's no inshallah in
Man said it's vibes.
We are hammering the way to the end of the season. Everybody.
The Champions League game, no expectation.
Are you? Come on, Ayo. Are you watching Chelsea? Wait. If Lampard mistakenly wins and gets to the next round, I am even worried this idiot is going to be considered for the job. Do you understand? People are saying we need to stink so bad. Then when the checkbook comes, Todd will look at it and be like, oh my God, we are like in the red. For him to be like, let's all calm down. Because right now, money is still there.
So I guess my point is, are you saying from now to the end of season, which was 9 games plus Champions League and 11 games, whatever that is?
At this point, we can't get relegated. We just need one tie. We can't get relegated, right? Almost at this point, mathematically, we can't. We just need one time to be very sure mathematically we cannot get relegated, right? We don't need coach. Now, rally boys. We're supposed to just text people you go show game day on Saturday. That's what we should be doing right now. There's no big deal. We should not be wasting time paying somebody a lot of money to come and be thinking, be talking, be doing interview. No need. We'll just print communications team. They will come like Abacha and whatever this team dissolve, this one dissolve, this one that. Finish. Then we'll repeat it, copy and paste. There is nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing. And we need to accept it as a club. We need to understand that we have literally dug ourselves. I mean, here's a joke now. Here's one of the insensitive jokes. I like dark humor, but here's one of the insensitive jokes. Look, Modric. I don't know how they signed that kid. Everybody saying Lampard wanted him Everton. That, to me, that's a YouTube buy now. That boy was rubbish on YouTube. People went to go and bring him out of let us support Ukraine and brought him here. Close. Why do we need it? Boy should be in the war front attempting shots, learning how to shoot. He's coming here. That's the joke. That's online joke people are saying. That's the dark humor people are saying. The guy can't shoot, can't do anything. Kai was posting 2 days ago. My favorite animal is a donkey. This Mumu actually posted his pet animal is a donkey, and then watch how he plays like a donkey, and he doesn't even move nothing. So if you're asking me all these questions, I'm just looking, and Kai Havertz is the one player that survived every single attacker we've bought at Chelsea. Tammy Abraham was sold, Timo Werner was sold. Oh, we could not pass forward. When you look at, it's almost like they don't have it in them anymore. That's what we're struggling with. As soon as Aspilicueta is off the team, Thiago Silva, there is no leader. Nothing on that pitch.
Okay.
So that's that. My whole thing about it. I mean, the Americans have came and stunk it up, but there's enough here for a coach that knows what they're doing to come in here and fix it. And we cannot, as Chelsea fans, be caught up in some bull crap, offensive play, tiki-taka. We don't care.
Who's your final candidate now? Like that's final.
Luis Enrique. I don't want to be here Nagelsmann. We're all right. Somebody that has beers, who has experience and can get the job done. It's not going to be pretty. I don't want to hear he has nice XG or XG for what we've been having 3.5 XG for the last 3 years. No goal. Who XG help? 500 pass completion. Who waiting they help anybody? And please let's figure out what to do with Kepa, because only against Kepa teams are scoring wonderful goals. See what Arsenal goalie was trying to save. The shot from what was that last save that was to the corner? I'm trying to remember who took that shot. Was it Salah? If that was Chelsea, our luck and Kepa, it's a golden goal. It would be like goal of the week kind of like candidate. So I don't have time for long-sighted, short-sighted goalies. I don't have time for he's good with his feet. Nobody has time for this unnecessary rubbish. We've bought into something that doesn't work. Let us go back to what we know. We're a blue-collar job. We're boring. We are ruthless, and we want to just win. We don't have time for all this. He's up and coming. It's Luis Enrique, done. And honestly, the Americans need to humble. We're proud of them not being miserly or stingy, but they need to respect the culture, the game. They need to respect how things are done. In all fairness, like Abramovich was robbed. The club was robbed from him. Whatever you believe in sports washing, I understand. I really understand. My stance is I never want to put morality with sports because it's a slippery slope. Doesn't mean that people that are animals or like human rights abusers should own teams. That's not what I'm advocating for. But that guy was robbed. The club was taken from him on some pretext or some shit. And here we are today bringing in some Americans, because anytime anybody that is not American or British wants to buy a club, there's a freaking problem. And then when they come together, there's this camaraderie of like, the square jaw, Wall Street kind of guys. And here we are again. And you don't tire me, because I don't buy merchandise anymore. I don't tire. My money no dey go this club. So I'm sorry.
I want to speak on the Lampard issue. Just
Let me take comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I've been not taking comments in a while. Someone said, "Oga comment, sister, don't be savage." Yeah, that comment is always savage. Don't you know him? He's known as Oga comment for a reason. Rants. Because Bowl is drinking that scissor. What was that? What scissor? With Cash Money Records. What? You know, last night Cash Money Records. What? It still exist. Wild decision, but excited to laugh at Chelsea. Hey, me, I'm enjoying every day. I'm throwing shots. Hey, don't agree with Idris putting all of that on Tuchel. Yes, he's temperamental, but that decision to fire him was proved awful. Okay, by Ola. Chelsea.
I'll just quickly address that. I didn't say hindsight is 2020. We should have kept him. Remember, I said the fact that the quality of your job was not the reason they fired you. That's a problem. All of us are professionals here now.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? If your attitude is the reason you're getting pushed out of a project, you need to look at the mirror. That's what I'm trying to say.
Good point. Chelsea hired Lampard because Lampard made mistakes in the past that I learned from. Went to Everton, continue to make mistakes. Now he's back to make mistakes and continue to learn from them. Progress, FIFA Morocco. I like this comment. It's the most underrated comment. If you read in between the lines, this comment, this is a great comment. This is a great comment. So I said, Idris, my dog. Never seen you so fired up like this. Enjoying the pain that you are transmitting. Cheers. Wow.
Yo, people are here for the violence.
Okay, Colin.
Yeah, so I want to address the Frank Lampard issue first from a social perspective, and especially in light of why us black people say that we have to work twice as hard to get anywhere close to what our white friends usually get. I want to look at the period from the beginning of February up until like middle of March, when things started to go bad for Patrick Vieira at Crystal Palace, right? So starting from February, 2-1 loss to Manchester United, 1-1 draw with Brighton, 1-1 draw with Brentford, 0-0 draw with Liverpool, lost to Aston Villa 1-0, lost to Manchester City, and then lost 4-1 to Arsenal, and lost 1-0 to Brighton.
All of them are top teams, though.
Yeah, out of all those losses, the only loss where we're like, he probably shouldn't have lost was maybe Aston Villa. Every other loss, he should have lost. Right. Crystal Palace should have lost.
So Bala is heading out. Just
okay. Okay. Every other game he should have lost, So now let's compare that to why Frank Lampard has a job. And again, when black folks, when we fail, right? We pay a dear price for failing. When our white friends fail, they fail up, right? And that is exactly what Frank Lampard has done and continues to do in his career. Let's be frank. When he was at, no pun intended. When he was it Derby County he was with, he wasn't pulling down trees over there before Chelsea went and got him, right? Then he went to Chelsea and stunk up the place, right? Yes, he had a decent, first few months, but he ended up stinking the place up. Then he went to Everton and almost got this man relegated.
Yes,
right. And now he's back as the Chelsea caretaker manager. Not enough time has passed between when Frank Lampard failed at Chelsea. From that time till now, not enough time has passed for any Chelsea, for any member on the board, on the Chelsea board, to say that, he's a different person now, or he has acquired new skills. The only new skill more. That is all Frank Lampard has done. Because look, Frank Lampard has not. He just hasn't shown anything that indicates that he should be at a big club.
He's the Mark Hughes of our time right now.
Right. He knows the right people and he has the right pigmentation. So now going to why Chelsea hired him, because the reason why Chelsea fired what's his name, Graham Potter. We don't know what was happening in the boardroom, but in my head, they're probably like, okay, you know what? We want to salvage something out of this season, right? It was either that, or they're like, you know what? It's a wash. Let's just be done with Graham Potter, right? Now, if the point is we want to salvage something out of this season, Frank Lampard is not who you go get to salvage anything out of this season, right? Now, if the reason for firing Brighton, I keep calling Potter Brighton. If the reason for firing Potter is because we're done, it's a wash, let's just cut our losses. Well, then just let Bruno Sauter or whatever his name, let him just stick it until the end. Why bring Frank Lampard in? The only reason I can reasonably conclude is that maybe they want the fans to fall in love with the club again. But that is such a lazy approach to owning and managing Chelsea Football Club. That if you have failed so much as an owner, if you failed so much as a chief executive or whatever of Chelsea, that you need a club legend to come back and make the fans more endearing to you, well, you have no business running that football club. And I feel sorry for Chelsea fans because this is just the beginning. These guys, they do not know. They do not know. They don't. It looks like they don't know what they're doing. And you guys just brace yourselves for a really, really rough
Okay, I
ride.
wanted to add to something to you, right? I think it's also not lost on them, on the fact that like Chelsea fans, and not just Chelsea fans, because I did say one time, like when I was in Stamford Bridge last year, when at the peak of the craziness of Roman leaving, the hotel attached to the bridge, the shops, people around that area, it was like those investments from Roman in that area. They felt that like how that thing played out was just a robbery. We understand you need to sever this guy for political reasons. We get it. But the fact that we, as not just a club, people that were employed, also got punished for something that was outside their realm. Then this guy comes in, obviously under the guise of like, you need to invest in the club if you're buying it from me. You need to make sure you sign players. You cannot just come and use the club to raise money, right? You need to do all those things. So they were really tied to spending money. But then I think when Chelsea fans were feeling like, okay, this guy we're trying to forget the ghost of Roman, right? And things they're looking bad and people were grumbling. If rather than them run the club better and bringing everybody on board and saying, see, we have issues, but we're in a transition period. Tuchel won us the Champions League. Let's all calm down, right? They went full throttle with whatever problems they had in the back room with Tuchel. And that's why I was upset with the Tuchel situation, because it's like, I want to be able to defend him wholeheartedly, saying, Todd, this was a shitty firing. You know what I mean? But then, would I have tolerated such in my own boardroom? Probably not, right? So they are trying to win, as you said, Oga. Like, they want to win, Chelsea fans. But there's so many, and you say it's lazy. The club feels robbed. Secondly, you fired a coach. Everybody doesn't understand what was going on, but we know it was because you felt some type of way. You fired him. Third, like, you got us this guy that you told us to support, that we know is a mid-table coach. And then here we are. We went back and brought Lampard. Are you okay, fam?
We've got 22 minutes over time. So let's
Sorry.
It's just... Ovi, no, it's fine. We're going to rush it from now on. Ovi.
Okay, so about Chelsea, I have a few things. I know you guys said, talked about Tuchel being fired for non-football reasons and all that, but could it be that they were just trying to buy players for him, select formation for him? And I think there's one thing, no matter the hierarchy system you have as a coach or a manager, if I'm going to get fired for bad results, nobody should be telling me who to buy. Nobody should be telling me who to play. So that's the way I see it. So if you're not big enough as the manager to say, I don't want this player, I want to keep this player, I want to sell this player, then why are you in the job? That's why I see it. So if you got fired because they wanted Ronaldo, he doesn't want Ronaldo, or whatever it is that as a manager, you should be able to say, you choose the team. Above that, they can do what they want to do. You can say, I want this player, and the club can say, this player is too expensive. We cannot buy this player. Do you have an alternative? That's fine. But you cannot.
I'm with you, Ovi. Because they went and bought a ton of players after he left.
So I'm going to get there. So that's one thing. I think for the owners, when they came in, they looked around at soccer and said, what good models are out there? They talked about the Man City model of having multiple clubs and getting players. They talked about the RB Leipzig plan, and they got the RB Leipzig directors. They quickly went to buy the Leipzig best player, Nkunku. They've done so. You can see they want to copy. Yeah, fine. You want to buy a youth project, grooming. Maybe you saw a little bit of Arsenal. So I want to have a youth project. That's fine. But at the end of the day, I can guarantee you, Potter did not tell them, I want Mudryk, I want Noni, Madueke, I want all the players that we're buying. He probably didn't tell them that. They just want to buy young players. I just said, this is
but I can tell you as a Chelsea fan, he's part of the transfer team.
Fine, but I'm just going to say because I'm like, if that's the case, then there's something fundamentally wrong. If you're spending 100 million euros on Mudryk and you've not bought a striker, why? So you already had Havertz, you have Sterling, you had Ziyech, you have Pulisic, so many wide forwards already. Why are you still betting enough wide forward when you have no striker? That's the first, and that's if you bought the wide forward for £10 million. So what are you doing? That's the first thing. So I don't want to player, so I'll just buy this player. It can't work like that. That's one. I think Boli is the main problem because he wants everybody to like him. He wants everybody to respect him quickly. You have to earn that trust. You have to earn the like. You can't just come. So he's buying players. Oh, because of Chelsea are happy, like, oh, we're still buying players. He's putting Lampard there because he knows that, well, this is already over. But if I put Lampard as a legend, at least some of the fans will come back and say, oh, he's one of our own, and they'll give you time. Why should you care whether they like you or not? Just do the right thing.
Yep.
Come with a plan. It might take some time. Just stick by it. Give it a chance to work out before you say, okay, this plan doesn't work. Let's try something else. But he's just trying to be populist. He just wants everybody to like him. That's the problem. Because when he first came in, he's arranging lunches with all the directors. He wants to talk to everybody. He wants to. So that's what he's concerned. He just wants everybody to like him. But that's not the issue. You want the best soccer team out there. That's the bread and butter is winning games, winning trophies, right? That's what it is. So the only reason Lampard would make sense to me is if they want to get Nagelsmann. And Nagelsmann says, I can't come now, I can come in the summer. So they just need somebody there to just run down the
But there's a contract on Nagelsmann's head, right? Tuchel wants one of Chelsea's assistant coaches, but he's under contract.
Okay.
And Chelsea's using that as a bargaining chip for either getting Nagelsmann. They see it as an opportunity because Nagelsmann is still under contract to Bayern, and we can't go and be paying another club again after we just paid for this coach.
Tell me, I'm saying that if you want to get Nagelsmann, why are they?
Which I pray not.
Yeah, just to because pretty much you just have the Champions League left. The league is you can't make top 6, you can't make top 4, you can't make anything. You can only win Champions League, right? So you just have a figurehead there, just to run on the clock, and you're still hoping to be able to negotiate for Nagelsmann with time because you're not rushing. Because if you want to hire Enrique, for example, you should be able to hire him now. He's looking for a job. So that's the way to make sense to me. You have to.
And the guy had flown to London. Enrique has done interview twice. He's flown to London twice. He's done a full-blown presentation.
Why Lampard would make sense is if they want to get Nagelsmann, and Nagelsmann comes in and does a good job.
I think you're right, Ovi. I think they want to get Nagelsmann. The issue, and this is where I have a problem as a Chelsea fan. The two technical directors are very tied to their whole Red Bull crap that they're talking about, right? My issue right now is this guy is not proven. I don't care what anybody tells me. He's decent enough, but he's not proven. He hasn't won anything. And we're a club that wins. We cannot go through this again.
They're talking of Nagelsmann, right?
Yes, Nagelsmann. Yeah. So they're literally Lampard is a placeholder for this guy. Instead, I believe we should be going for a proven commodity that might take time. We might slug it out, but it's Luis Enrique.
Yeah, but
will you take Poch? Will you take Poch?
At this juncture, at least I will give Poch the fact that he's become a runners-up and a Champions League finalist, right? So Poch has a better record than Nagelsmann, man.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised.
On a tighter budget.
I'm not surprised because just think about it. Man, you brought in Ten Hag. Who did he spend money on? Players that he knew, right? Dutch players, the player Anthony. So that's how you're going to buy what you know because you're committing money now. You want to be sure of what you know is better than what you don't know, what you're not sure about. So to these RB Leipzig people, this is their man. He can come in and do all the and save all the and perform all the miracles. That's what they are looking at it. So like I said, I feel like Lampard is just that's way to make sense to me. That's the way it makes sense to me. You just want someone there. You couldn't find anybody. Just say, okay, you know what? Baba Lampard is free. He's a legend. They just put him there. Just because Potter couldn't stay because they felt the bar was getting too high. And they were just like, what's the use? But with Lampard, at least you're not going to pay him much. It's 6 months. Just leave him there just to keep him busy. Right? But that's the only way it can make sense to me.
Okay.
I think they want to get Lampard to stay long term. But if they do, then we can have a different discussion.
Yeah, okay. So we're at an hour, almost 30 minutes. And we have to rush through the rest. I'll take comments. Speaking facts. Okay, Kwame. Thousands of languages in the world, and Oga decided to speak facts today. Facts only. I hope Burnley let company work the full season. Fingers crossed. Yeah. We'll see when they come back.
We know the answer to that already.
Quiet. We must remind henceforth. He just said he would take Poch, aka Mr. Fraud. That made me say silent prayer for Chelsea. Happy Easter. This is the Barcelona guy, Benvido. I think thoughts is about Lampard, and then we'll go to Champions League scores and Donkey and Kudos and end pod. I think it's a PR move. I told Idris, we talked about it on chat. I think it's a PR move. This is when they do, season ticket, and they send the request to season ticket holders. Okay, time to renew season tickets. a lot of match-going Chelsea fans they're still big. Lampard is their biggest legend. I mean, at least one of between them and Terry. So they still love him regardless of what happened. So it was just a PR move. Ill-advised or PR move, in my personal opinion. I think it's a PR move.
No, it's a solid opinion. If Lampard truly loved Chelsea, he will have said, "I am not the right guy. He's a bastard. He went there for cheap money." He should, if he truly loved Chelsea, he would say, I am not capable."
Fighting for anything. They shot them. It's not a big deal, I think.
Okay.
No.
We have to move on. We have to move.
Let's move on. You should have done the needful. For us, the family members of Chelsea, I can't fly this plane. I think you should get a real pilot. Can't be here being like, I just put wings for chest. Just carry plane, go to fly my family inside. Is he mad?
Okay,
sorry, please.
We are going to each person do pictures for everything. Then move to next. I think that's quicker. I'll start with Ovi. I saw your writing, so I feel like Ovi is ready. Predictions. Unofficial prediction. Champions League. First leg. Only. Scoreline.
Benfica Inter. I'll say 2-1 Benfica.
Okay.
Man City Bayern. I'll say. I think Man City is home, right?
Mm-hmm. First leg. Home.
I'll say 1-1. Real Chelsea. I'll say Real 2-0.
Yeah.
Napoli is Milan. I'll say I'll say Napoli 2-1.
Okay. In Milan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Other comment.
So just first leg or aggregate? Just first leg. First leg. Okay. Benfica Inter Milan. I think Benfica takes that one 2-1. Man City Bayern. I that's a draw. That's gonna end as a draw. 1-1 or 2-2. Real Madrid versus Chelsea. That's in Spain. 3-0 Real Madrid. Milan Napoli. I think Milan wins this one at home. I think Milan wins this one 2-1. 3-1.
Because I think Osimhen is still injured. I'll say mine. Why Idris is still writing? I see Idris is still writing. I'll say mine. Benfica Inter. I think I don't respect Inter. I think Benfica will beat them 2-1. First leg. 2-0 actually. Benfica win 2-0. Man City Bayern. I think Man City beats Bayern 2-1. First leg. Real Madrid Chelsea 4-0. Milan Napoli. I think Napoli nicks it. I think Osimhen is back. I hope he's back. I'm not sure. Napoli wins in Milan 2-1. Those are my scores. Idris.
For me, I'll start with Napoli. Napoli 1-1 Milan. They'll be too tactical. First leg, they'll all be cagey. Benfica Inter, I believe another 1-1 first leg. Inter is struggling right now. Normally I would have gone with Inter because of firepower, but right now they are struggling, so I'll go 1-1 just because of the levels of the league. Man City Bayern, I'm going to go with a 1-1 on that one too. I'm playing safe because everybody's playing the first leg. It's also trying to respect Chelsea and no respect in this one. 5, they will kill it immediately in that team. Then all of us can all relax, move on with our life, then know that what we are doing. So straight up, that's where I put it. 5-0. It's done in the first round.
That's all emotions. I'll stay with Idris.
No, I'm not. There's no emotions here now. We're going to keep doing. It's Ramadan. Let me never see what is in my mind because I wanted to say.
Okay, this is Ramadan. Kudos and Donkey of the week. Idris, give us your kudos and donkey of the week.
Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard is the donkey of the week.
Kudos.
Donkey of the week. Kudos.
Okay,
No, kudos on the week for me, honestly, is Arsenal. Arsenal still persevering through. Nothing much has changed. But Donkey straight up is Lampard. When they called, you should have just told them, you know what, I'm going to let people just carry on. Lampard is the donkey of the week. I don't care what anybody has. He has enough money not to take this job.
Okay, Kwame.
Kudos. I have to give Aaron Ramsdale the kudos because he kept his team in the title race today. If they win the league, it'll be because of him. So yeah, kudos. Donkey, the donkey will be Juventus fans, and the ref in that Inter Juventus game, the Coppa Italia game, where the crowd was racially abusing Romelu Lukaku. The guy scored, and the ref booked him for celebrating in front of the Juventus fans. Yeah. That's ridiculous. So yeah, again, you know, the blackness in football is still it's still something that that is used against some of our brothers out there, and especially in Italian football, that needs to get cleaned up.
Okay, good one. Ovi.
Yeah, well, I agree with Oga Kwame for kudos of the day because Ramsdale did a good job today. Because someone that's come from a long way, suffered two relegations, and there was a lot of doubt where we initially got him, but he's been getting better and better. And that's all you can really ask for. So kudos for him. In terms of Donkey, I will go with the referees as a whole in the Tottenham Brighton game.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
They had a shocker of a game.
Yeah.
And I know mistakes happen all the time, but that's the idea of VAR. You should the mistakes should be minimized and reduced. So that was just a bad game that just pretty much, in my opinion, cost Brighton any chance of top four. That was it after that game. So I think they deserve the donkey for not, because they've already apologized to Brighton, the PGMOL.
Yeah.
That doesn't give them points. That's just apology that doesn't mean anything. So for that definitely my donkey. They need to do a better job. We need to get foreign referees like the way English League got foreign players. So we might need to get that eventually, just to increase the level of everything and more diversity in the referee pool, I'll say.
Okay, that's a good one. Kudos. I'm going to throw a bunch of people. My kudos more be like mentioned. People have said most of the major kudos. First one goes to Unai Emery. I feel like he got a lot of slack for not working at Arsenal, but ever since he's done very, 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 very well. This is currently sixth on the table. Currently sixth on the table, taking Villa, punching way above his weight. Second kudos goes to Eddie Howe. Looks like they were out of it a couple of weeks ago when they're playing so many draws, and now they're back third, playing very well, scoring goals now, The last one goes to Company, Vincent Company.
Yeah.
Mad. Yeah. Sorry, that one I missed.
Yeah, for doing so well for Burnley, qualified them, playing very good football. I think this is the earliest qualification ever in the championship history.
Wow.
20 games left. Yes, it's the earliest qualification. So kudos.
Please keep that receipt, because you and I know when keep that receipt. Yeah.
When it goes bad in the Premier League,
it will happen. Yeah.
Haaland's goal. I know that was just me. I like strikers a lot. That goal, oof. That Haaland's finish against Southampton. Golly.
Haaland has more goals than Chelsea combined. Carry on.
The boy is ridiculous. Donkey of the week. I think it's Todd Bowley and the Chelsea exec level. I don't understand what they're doing there.
And Frank Lampard, please add the guy that is not supposed to collect.
That's okay.
Please be adding him. I just want to put my credits. Like add him. Everybody be adding Frank Lampard.
The Chelsea exec level. I don't know what they're doing there. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous decision making. Someone said Donkey of the week. Oh, this is my Barcelona 0-4 at home. Still hurts to Real Madrid.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Okay, kudos to Villarreal for beating Real Madrid. Okay.
I heard Chukwueze destroyed them.
Scored a banger.
That's mad goal, man.
Yeah.
Mad goal.
An hour 38 minutes for everybody in the comments supporting us. For the guests coming on, Ovi, Idris had to let in our therapy session for Idris. Hopefully it was. He had to let out some anger.
I just thought of one very crazy joke about Frank Lampard right now. Is that guy a classroom that you allowed W in medical school? Then all of a sudden he had an accident. You went to the hospital. You saw that guy. You're like, you guy, don't take this job.
Frank Lampard.
You should not have taken that job. Would you allow that guy that dubbed you at school? All of a sudden, you now went to the emergency. That's the guy that wants to operate you. No.
Frank Lampard uses ChatGPT to manage.
Like ChatGPT, think I'm now. Like you do it for us. You be my guy. No operate on me.
We have got to the end of the show. Like, share, subscribe. You can see YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Thank you everyone for joining, and we're out.
All right, peace, guys.